Lincoln Youth Football here tonight. Lincoln Youth Football offers flag and tackle options for youth living in or attending private school within the Lincoln High School boundaries. If you know a young boy or girl who'd love to play next season, check out the website and get added to the mailing list. LincolnYouthFootball.info. Davis and Cosby back to receive except for Roosevelt. Davies with the kick. Davis with the return. After about the 31, first and 10 Roosevelt. Backman and Cummings with the tackle. Flag down on the field. First and 10 Lincoln. First and 10 Roosevelt. Quarterback. Timeout Roosevelt. Please pay a visit to the concession stand and all the Lincoln swag you could possibly want at the west end of the field by the entrance. The grill is working tonight. Picked up by Davis. Speed of about 7. Brotherton and Friends with the tackle. Second down. Davis with the catch. Out of bounds. Third and short. That's with the carry. Stopped by Letterman and Oxford. Fourth down. Back to the play. Stopped short by Leonardo Coriani. Rookie will take over first and 10. Over this pass and play football, not incomplete, second down. Coffee with the carry. Getting about 5 first down by Wood. Second and 36. From the block at the back pass of aggregate pass at a different Lincoln Cardinals first down. Right with the carry. Top by Presser. Short game, second down. Coffee with the carry. Top by Johnson. Drive down on the pass. Personal foul. Roosevelt. That's good for a combo first down. Padre to carry. Got by Redburn and Davis. Second down. Padre to carry. Got by Woods and Padre. That'll get for a looking combo first down. First and goal progress. Padre with the carry.
Couple of yards.
And I'll tell you what, he is not afraid to take the big hits, see him on defense, too, as a DB, and I think that'll really pique the interest of college coaches, that jump cut that you talked about, that he is willing to cut inside and take the contact.
He already has 6 carries on this drive.
Certainly on track for another night of a lot of touches. Rolling out to his left, Eldridge, he's in trouble, and was just out of the reach of Emmett Togney, who was close to hauling that one in.
You know how tough that is to roll left and throw across your body when you're a right-handed quarterback? Boy, that looked tough for him, but he managed to get the ball close.
And the thing that he did there is he put it in a place where only his guy was going to get it.
Exactly.
And Togney almost did come down with that football. It's 3rd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Now out of the shotgun this time is Liam Eldridge. He's going to try to keep it himself, but that one was not fooling anybody. But, in fact, he tries to spin away from it and going to end up losing about 6 or 7 yards. And I think this is time for Lance Ricker, because I know for a fact this is well within his range. So 4th down and goal from the 12, and they are going to send on Lance Ricker. No surprise there.
Ricker, number 24, trots out. He's got the leg for this. So, let's see, the line of scrimmage is going to be
at the 10, and this ball is going to be placed inside the 20, so this will be a 28-yard field goal for the lefty.
27. It's at the 17.
From the right hash. I always liked kicking from not that hash. I know he's left-footed, I was right-footed, but to put it down is Brotherton. Kick is away, and it's good. Takes the lead. Bio Lounge. Bio Lounge is a Northwest Portland functional medicine clinic that partners with patients to support their unique health goals. Whether aiming to treat a condition, prevent chronic disease, or optimize health, our highly trained providers leverage the latest in scientific research and technology to provide exceptional care and outcomes. We believe health is a lifelong journey and are proud to support the Lincoln football program. Bio Lounge.
55 yards on that drive for the Cardinal, helped by that 15-yard penalty on Roosevelt, the 27-yard field goal by Ricker. 3-0. The time on that again, 5:08 of the first.
Got to give a lot of credit to Ricker for knocking it through the poles. Also got to give a little credit to Roosevelt's defense, Dave. If after that run from Togney, Lincoln had first down and goal from the 6-yard line, and they went backwards 7 yards from there. So Roosevelt and Coach McCants will be happy with that stop. They do trail 3-zip. Davies with a nice deep kick. Fielded at the 5. Great special teams coverage from the Cardinals.
Out to the 24-yard line. Great stop by the Cardinal. Roosevelt to take over 1st and 10 at the 24. 5:01 left in the first. Cardinal lead 3-0.
So Roosevelt, of course, saw their drive stall, and we're going to see if Coach McCants was deceiving us a little. See if they go to the ground more, or if they're going to try and. But Lincoln was getting good penetration from that front 7. Both run plays Roosevelt did attempt.
Betts 2 carries 1 yard. Riley 1 for 2 passing for 7 yards.
They got 3 receivers set here. They're going out of the shotgun. They motion Woods. They're going to give it to Woods with a little swing, and he's going to try to throw. He's got a wide open man, and this is going to go for 6. What happened there? And this is Woods with a touchdown pass. The Rough Riders strike right back, Dave. And I'll tell you, I've seen some people wide open before. That might have put it to a whole new level.
You know, they started the motion man who was off to the right. He swung around behind the quarterback. When the quarterback turned and threw the ball to him, it was a lateral, and I knew something was up. You looked, and boy, there were 2 Rough Riders wide open down the field. 76 yards on the completion. Woods to...
I could not tell who. Unfortunately, we'll try to get that in a minute here.
Right, it was definitely Woods who threw it.
And that was a good throw. Of course, didn't exactly need to make a great throw given how open he was. But, Dave, it looked like the receiver there was fielding a punt. Extra point up and good. Plenty of distance on it as well. Good kick. It looked like he was fielding a punt. Just a complete breakdown. And, again, McCants was telling us for the game they're a run-first team. Well, I'm not sure I'm buying that right now.
Yeah, he told us we're going to run the ball tonight. We're going to be mostly run tonight. Well,
not so far with 4:48 left to play in the first quarter. Elite Real Estate. Michelle Shahan, our dedicated realtor at Elite Real Estate, strongly supports Cardinal football, just like a strong offensive line. Ready to score your next home? Make contact with her today. Elite Real Estate. So, that's a 1 play, and how far was that drive, Dave? About 78 yards?
76 yards.
You know, Lincoln's going to be having some discussions with this offensive look the Roosevelt is giving them. But I got to give credit. I don't know exactly who's calling the plays. I got to think McCants is in on it, and I wouldn't be surprised because he's a very good play caller. If he wouldn't have been looking to throw there, that would have been a loss of about 6 or 7. Woods would have been dead in the water. But
you have to think for that Woods, who's a receiver, he really threw that ball. He threw it about 40 yards in the air, right on the money.
He did. So it played, orchestrated really well, and I don't think it could have been executed any better if you're Roosevelt. You got whistles before the kickoff here.
You know, that started looking almost like a jet sweep. And as he got to the quarterback, he kind of faded away a little further back. When the defense saw that, they should have realized something's up.
Good to talk about after that 1 play, 76-yard touchdown drive. And McCants was telling us, Dave, before the game that with their kicking situation, their kicker had a soccer game before this, and they were hoping he'd make it. He has made it. His extra point was beautiful, and I know they blew that last one dead, but he booted that nearly for a touchback, so obviously it looks like he's made it. So, second time around doing this kick. Another really good one. Makes him field it at the 4.
Okay.
Thank you.
It just went from daylight to dark.
It did, and I'll tell you, I like it a lot better now.
We turned the lights off in the press box.
And it makes all the difference for me. I like it. So Lincoln's going to start from where they get to the 18, the 20.
They're going to spot that ball, I believe,
At the 20 is where they're putting this one.
at the 20. Great kick, and that he kicked that towards the back, well, just inbounds at about the 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And I bet you, Dave, he has the leg to kick a touchback, but why do that when you can make him field it at the 3?
Right.
I was never the kickoff guy because my leg wasn't as big as some of the other kickers we had, but they could kick touchbacks. Coach Caruso and Roosevelt would always say, pin him at the 2 if you can, and I can almost guarantee you Caruso might have been involved in that special teams play. Under center is Liam Eldridge. Roosevelt stacking the line, ready for Emmett Togney. The football is on the ground. Roosevelt jumps on it. I think Roosevelt jumped on it.
Well, the exchange from the quarterback to the running back.
And actually, are they saying Lincoln got back on the ball? They are.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't believe it.
That looked like somebody fell on it for Roosevelt. But
you know, as my dad always says, the ball ain't round. And so it takes some funny hops.
In the very beginning, they tried to make a football round, a fumble-resistant football. That didn't work out so good.
They tried to make a football round?
Do you believe that?
I don't know if I do.
No, don't believe that.
I was going to say. That doesn't seem to work too well. And so Lincoln somehow able to keep the ball here, Dave. It is a big loss.
That wasn't from a hit. That was on the exchange.
We saw that a couple times against Franklin last week as well, and we got markers down. And I think this is delay a game that the referee just signaled. Delay a game on Lincoln. So they started at the 20. Now they're back at the 10. Second down and 20. And Eldridge, ahead of that last play, was in the shotgun empty backfield.
Lost 5 on that fumble and then penalized 5, so it is second down and 20.
3 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in this first quarter. And empty backfield again. Shotgun out of the gun is Eldridge. Eldridge goes down the left sideline looking for Garrett Schmokel, who makes the catch. Got to tell you, I like Schmokel.
This is the play we've seen before. 4 receivers on the right, 1 receiver on the left, drags all the linebackers and all the coverage over to the right side and then throw to Schmokel on the left, and he got 30.
Certainly a big play. I remember I was at a Lincoln baseball game a few years ago, and Schmokel was the pitcher. He's got a good arm, and looks like he's a great receiver, too. Under center is Eldridge. Somebody jumped.
Let's see how they're going to call that. Clearly somebody on Roosevelt jumped. Was he pulled offside? They're pointing at Lincoln. Lincoln's backing up, and so the referee is marching that off. It's on Lincoln, 5 yards.
Got to drive Schnaufer crazy at this point. Down 7-3. But I will say Lincoln lucky, of course, they didn't lose that fumble, and it turns into a 30-yard pass from Eldridge. Great throw from Eldridge. Great route and catch from Garrett Schmokel. First and 15. Give to Emmett Togney up the gut. Gets 4 of those penalty yards back.
Pretty much back to the original line of scrimmage, Emmett Togney. Yeah, that was a great play to throw to Schmokel on the left side when you had quad receivers to the right.
He's tall, he's fast. I like the play call a lot. Eldridge looking to go downfield, and I think he was looking for Parker Barnett, who had 2 touchdowns last game, 2 long ones.
You mentioned that to Coach Schnaufer about Parker Barnett.
Said watching for him a little bit more. They tried to go to him there. Does look like he was pretty well covered. 3:02 left to play in the first quarter. Lincoln a yard behind the original marker. Eldridge drops back. He's in a lot of trouble. Does well to evade the pocket. Launches one downfield.
Oh my goodness, triple defenders. Roosevelt is saying it was intercepted. It looked to me like it was caught by the receiver.
And it was. What a catch. Almost a Hail Mary type play.
I'm pretty sure I'm looking. I think that's Reverman. Let's see, it is A.J. Reverman on the catch.
Leader in receptions for this Cardinal team.
35 yards on the completion to Reverman.
They're ready for Emmett Togney there. Gets 2.5, maybe 3.
Eldridge threw into triple coverage. Reverman was in the middle of it, jumped up, got his hands on the ball, came down with it. I think Roosevelt was stunned that he caught the ball.
I think that's a couple of times Roosevelt has been stunned on this drive that Lincoln's been able to keep it going. Rolling across his body, firing towards the end zone, looking for Barnett. It was just out of Parker Barnett's reach.
The fade pattern, and it was just a little bit long.
Referees, I thought his hat was off. He was just picking up the ball. Never mind. Third down now and 8.
2 minutes to go in the first quarter. 7-3. Roosevelt leads.
Roosevelt with that one-play 76-yard touchdown pass from Woods.
Well, remember, this drive started on the 20.
They're backing the ball up here.
Oh, my goodness.
Are they calling
15 yards?
They still have it as only second down, though. I don't know if they're going to change that, but that must have been a penalty, redo it down. Must have been a hold or something like that.
Well, let's see. No, I think it's a 10-yard penalty. I must have been holding.
Must have been holding. And Roosevelt accepts. And now Lincoln, a little bit out of field goal range right now. It's still only second down, but it's second and 18.
Ball in the 33.
Single coverage again on the left side. Roosevelt was ready for that one. Brady Holland lost his helmet on that play.
On the carry that time for Lincoln, that was 27.
That would be
Emerson Murph. Is that right?
That would be Grayson Murph.
Grayson
Murph on the carry for Lincoln. So coming towards the close of the first quarter here, there's 1:20 left to play in the first.
Lincoln has been able to move the ball, especially in the air.
And we're going to have a timeout.
Four of 6 passing for Eldridge for 75 yards.
Eldridge very efficient so far on a couple of those long pass plays that we've seen completed for Lincoln. Had some big plays these last few weeks. Garfinkel Orthodontics. Garfinkel Orthodontics celebrating 50 years of helping Portland smile. Dr. Judah, Lincoln High School alum from 1992, and the entire team at Garfinkel Orthodontics are proud to support Lincoln High School and excited to help your family smile. Complimentary consultations at garfinkelortho.com.
Just want to point out our stats are unofficial. The official stats are the ones kept by the official score, but we try to get as close as we can to those.
And I mean, you were right about Togney's carries in his yardage last game. You were right about that. So I've got faith in his ahead of this 3rd and 18 play for the Cardinals.
And we try to make sure we get the players right, but sometimes it's a little hard to see. We don't have an official spotter.
I was going to say, without a spotter, we're guessing every now and then. We do have Errol Brotherton out wide under a lot of pressure as Eldridge, and that's going to be a disastrous play. He's sacked back at midfield.
And that is going to be a loss of 18 yards by Eldridge.
So once again, we see this Roosevelt defense bends, but they didn't break.
You know, Eldridge has had more success rolling right and rolling left. He dropped straight back that time under pressure, then continued to go backwards.
If he would have, rolled out, that's where he's made some plays, and right there.
Right, he was going backwards, so he didn't have a chance to throw that ball to prevent a big sack, but Ricker into kicking. Lance will get a good punt away here.
Lance Ricker standing at his own 37. And that Roosevelt return, pardon me, I didn't see the one who's deep. I was going to say, two's not playing deep enough. Pretty good snap, and Ricker gets a great punt away. Going to take a bounce at the 20. It is picked up at the 12.
Woods on the return.
Stays on his feet. Gets out to the 46-yard line.
The line of scrimmage there was the Roosevelt 49, and he returned that to the Roosevelt 46.
So it's almost like they just failed on 4th down.
Right, a net punt of 3 yards. Although it was a good kick.
It was a fantastic kick, just return coverage wasn't there at time for the Cardinals. So Roosevelt will set up shop at their own 47 with really good field position. Eight seconds left in the first quarter. Riley takes the snap, looking to throw to the far side. It's complete to Woods. Makes Togney miss. That's not easy to do, Dave. And he gets it out to the Lincoln 45-yard line. That was the last play of the first quarter.
At the end of the first quarter,
7-3 Rough Riders.
Remember, Coach McCants said we're going to run the ball?
Yeah, and I love McCants, but I think he might have been deceiving me a little bit there. I might have to talk to him about that one. I'm just kidding. They did say, he said we're a run first team, and he didn't sound real confident saying it, dude.
I've been watching Roosevelt for 6 years. They like to throw the ball.
You told me that right after. You're saying you're not sure if you're buying that, and it looks like so far you're right on the money. Premier Jets specializes in worldwide service and has experience visiting nearly every part of the world. We provide fast worldwide transport service to 6 continents, including all Pacific Islands. Our services include an air ambulance, on-demand cargo, or charter flights. That's Premier Jets.
You know, for all that action, our score is 7-3.
I was going to say, and if Roosevelt probably kicking themselves for not being able to pick up that fumble at the 15, heck, I thought that they had a wide open pounce on that ball. They still do have the ball now, though. 2nd and 3, it's going to be from the Lincoln 46.
And for all that action, no turnovers.
Very close to one early on. And
very close.
Lincoln could have had a pick on that Hail Mary type play that was brought down by Reverman. But as you said, so far nobody's turned the ball over. First play of the second quarter here with Riley out of the shotgun. It's going to go quick to the outside again. That's towards the sticks. Brotherton was right there to stop him with forward progress, and I think he might just be a tad short, Dave.
Brotherton with the stop.
Got to tell you, Errol Brotherton, got to love the aggression he plays with. He's not the biggest guy on the field, just listed at, I'm not sure this is right, but listed as 140. And he's up against much bigger receivers, and he had no problem fighting him off there and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Let's see, Dontrell Betts so far is 3 carries for 2 yards.
So that running thing McCants was telling us about. So far, they've been doing it in the air. Got a fullback in the backfield. It's 3rd down and maybe even less than a yard. They hand it off, and once again, Lincoln's front 7 says nothing. And it'll be 4th and a yard. Cameron Rank getting in there.
Rank had some big stops last week. Number 11, he plays outside linebacker.
Seven to 3. Roosevelt leads, and once again, they're going to go for it. They failed the first time they tried this. Got a power formation. They're going to do I've heard it called a brotherly shove. You get the fullback behind the quarterback, and he just pushes him, and it's going to give him enough.
Well, in the NFL, they call it the tush push.
The tush push? I've heard, of course, the old Bush push with USC Notre Dame and that one.
Reggie Bush, yeah.
And it used to be illegal, correct? But now they've decided that this
you know, it used to be illegal. Now it's legal. The Philadelphia Eagles have made it famous now. My guess is it's going to be illegal again next year.
I wouldn't doubt it. I saw the Beavers run that a lot against the Ducks last year, and it's almost unfair when you just get a big push from a 240-pound fullback. And they're going to hand it off again to
Betts, still on his feet, got leveled by Reverman.
But picked up a picked up 9, did take a big hit, as you mentioned. Good run from Betts, by far his best run of the night so far. So it looks like Roosevelt certainly has not giving up on that run. Pulls off 9 there.
2nd and 1. Ball on the 33-yard line. 7-3, Roosevelt leads.
From the 33 of Lincoln. Roosevelt looking to extend their lead on this drive here in Lincoln's homecoming game. They are in enemy territory here at Mike Walsh Field. Out of the gun, another pass. Riley wants it all. And an incredible catch from Woods. Might have been pass interference too. No flags. I just cannot stress enough how beautiful of a catch that was from Woods.
33-yard touchdown pass from Riley to Woods.
I can't believe McCann's telling us, oh, we don't throw a lot, but if we do, watch Woods. Well, it's been the Woods show so far.
Let me say this. The defender turned around, saw the ball, jumped. Riley laid that right over the top and right into the hands of Woods.
I was about to say, Dave, I don't want to make it sound like I'm not giving Riley credit because that throw was right where it needed to be, and it traveled in the air about 38, 40 yards. Another perfect extra point, and I could see in coverage over there that DB was trying to do all he could, even a little hand fighting to prevent Woods, maybe just make it a 15-yard, but Woods said, I'm grabbing that football.
Right. You have to give Riley the credit because he laid that right on the money. The receiver was about one step over the end line, got it right on his hands.
So Roosevelt with 2 passing touchdowns, want to emphasize. They're not rushing.
Let's see, a 76-yard pass from Woods on that first drive. This time 33 yards from Riley to Woods. Woods is figured into 2 touchdowns, 109 yards. 76 of it throwing, 33 of it receiving.
And we're only through the first 15 minutes of the football game. He's already got a receiving and a passing touchdown.
And Woods, let's see, I was looking here. Woods is he a senior? I believe he is.
Woods is he is in fact a senior, and he's certainly making the most of his senior season.
All right, let's see about the kick this time. Both kickoffs before have been right to the corner.
That's
made the Cardinals play the ball.
We're going to give credit to Owen Nathan for great kicking for Roosevelt so far tonight. We'll see what he does with this one. This one's a little bit, this one's shorter, going to be fielded at the 14. But great coverage from Roosevelt. Lincoln will start at the 25.
First and 10 Cardinals.
9 minutes and 13 seconds left to play. Second quarter.
131 yards passing so far for Roosevelt. Of course, 76 of that on one play.
So is Woods their leading passer right now?
In yardage, yes.
In yardage.
Because Riley, what do you think he is passing? He's 5 for 5.
He's missed 1, 5 for 6.
5 for 6. Okay, I got it there.
Togney with the carry.
Emmett Togney, good run, gets out to the 31.
6 yards for Togney.
Lincoln knows that they've got some ground to make up here, trailing 14-3 on their home field. Second down and 4 for Lincoln from they're on 31-yard line. Under center is Eldridge, gives to Togney again. Another strong run from Emmett Togney. And we saw this against Franklin last week. I think when Lincoln gets down, Togney just starts running angry. That's what we've seen in the last couple of plays.
10 yards on the carry for Togney, and that's his 9th carry of the game so far.
Moves the chains for Lincoln. Oh, student section absolutely packed on hand for this homecoming game. That is great to see. Really good crowd tonight.
It is homecoming, so it'll be a little longer tonight.
And that's another Lincoln jump, I believe, unless a Roosevelt D lineman drew him off sides.
Flag down on the play.
Referee hasn't signaled yet who this is on. And it is on
Lincoln.
False start.
Lincoln. False start.
I saw a left edge jump. Wasn't sure if he was drawn off. Of course, defense allowed as long as they don't penetrate the neutral zone. So it makes it 1st down and 15. More movement.
Let's see.
Flag on the play.
I think that Roosevelt might have jumped here.
You know, coaches tell the linemen, no matter who's offside, stand there, don't back up or anything, and point your finger at the
I was
other
going to
side.
say, almost means nothing because it's automatic.
Right.
But this one does go against Roosevelt, so we've had 5-yard penalties against both teams.
We've had 2 penalties, and we're back where we started from, 1st and 10.
For Lincoln from their own 41. Liam Eldridge takes the snap from under center. Here's the old pitch to Togney. Cut. There's another jump cut inside. Picks up just a yard.
The toss sweep that time. Tried to get to the outside on the right side. Got 2.
7 minutes, 10 seconds left to play.
2nd down.
In this first half with Lincoln down 2 scores, 14-3. They took a 3-0 lead off a Lance Ricker field goal. Roosevelt responded with a couple of touchdowns.
10 carries for Togney, 44 yards.
6:50 left to play. First half. 2nd and 8. They give him 2 on that last touch. Rolling out across his body again is Liam Eldridge. Looking for the sideline, almost intercepted.
Eldridge's pass intended
I think the defender actually caught the ball out of bounds.
3rd down.
Did he or did he drop it?
I think he dropped it. I think he dropped it, but did a good job to read that route.
Oh, I see. I thought that was the ball. It's a hand warmer he's got on the bottom of his jersey there. Either a black shirt or a hand warmer.
Seems a little warm tonight for needing a hand warmer.
Right.
Gotta say, got some questions about that, but hey, you know, whatever. Everyone's got their own style during the game.
That was number 6, and that's Miles Green.
Fullback on offense as well, so another 2-way starter for Roosevelt. He read that route well. Made a good play. 3rd and 8 for Lincoln.
Somebody take a timeout.
And we have another delay game on the Cardinals.
I think of all the years I've been broadcasting, I've seen more delay of games this year than any other time.
It's been, remember that McDaniel one? I wasn't there for that one, but.
You know, when your quarterback runs to the sideline to get the play every time, instead of hand signaling in,
it really.
You get to the huddle and you look up at the play clock and you got
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Yeah, they might need to work on a better system there because, as you mentioned, most teams do, and there's a reason they do hand motions. Really ups the odds for a delay of game, and now it's 3rd and a long ways. Rolling back across his body, and Eldridge is just going to get rid of this. There's a flag likely for a hold as well.
Eldridge wisely got rid of it that time instead of taking a 20-yard sack.
Would have made it even harder for Lance Ricker to boot it out of their own territory. But right now, Dave, Roosevelt certainly having their way in this football game.
Pressure on Eldridge. Of course, he's taken those snaps under center. You wonder, would they shift to a shotgun formation at this point in time, get him a little more time, but he has been under immense pressure. He's 4 of 8 passing.
And this must be this is on Roosevelt. Actually, never mind. They were just going back to the spot to mark this off. And
Right, it's an incomplete pass. Wait, they're marking off a penalty.
they are.
Think maybe, I don't know, is that intentional grounding? I haven't seen the referee's call.
I haven't. And
Here it goes.
Penalties on Lincoln.
What was that? What's...
Yeah, I'll have to, at halftime, I'll look it up and see what that penalty is because I don't recognize it.
But it is it still third down, Dave? It is.
It is.
I don't understand why Roosevelt wouldn't decline that penalty.
Roosevelt took it, the referee took his fists and pushed them together. Now he's going to signal something else.
And I think Roosevelt, yeah, and they just announced penalty decline. So McCants was saying, no, why would I not decline that penalty?
Take the down, it'll be right. So the ball should be
You know, Dave, I like to think that I know all the referees' signals pretty darn well. I don't know what this means.
Well, there was a penalty on Lincoln, then they enforced it and moved it back. Then he gave another signal. I thought the signal that he gave was for unsportsmanlike conduct, but that's an automatic penalty, and
it would be a loss of down.
And would have moved the ball. So.
And now they are a lot of confusion going on right now because Lincoln's offense, I believe,
is being enforced.
Now it will be enforced, and it will be third down and 5 miles.
Third and long.
It was a personal foul. They didn't enforce it. Now the PA announcer said, well, they enforced it. They have to enforce that, so now it's huge.
So it's third down and the length of the Fremont Bridge.
Look out. That was a pass intended for a receiver, tipped.
And caught by Oxford. No, pardon me. That was caught by Conrad Kelsey off the hands of A.J. Reverman, and now they can go for it.
You know, that traveled. That's a result, a pass that's complete to Kelsey of 35 yards.
We've seen a couple of those from Lincoln tonight, and A.J. Reverman was in the middle of both of them.
It's still fourth down, but it's fourth down and 2.
And that's probably why McCants would have liked to decline that penalty if he could have. I wish we knew what was going on there.
Here's the play. Quad receivers to the left, one receiver to the right. Let's see if he throws to the right.
And you get Roosevelt to jump.
Eldridge came up. He's in shotgun. Gave a hard count on the first sound he made. And Roosevelt jumped, and it's a first down. What a chain of events. It was third down and about 35, and the pass was complete for 33. Fourth down and 2, go with a hard count and draw them off sides. What a way to survive all of that.
Hard to believe, and again, McCants would have liked to decline that penalty. It didn't happen, and right now, we're going to have a whistle.
Smart play that time by the Cardinal. And great catch that last time by Conrad Kelsey to get the tip and get the ball.
That was not Togney, that was
Reverman.
A.J. Reverman. No gain.
Second down.
.450 left to play in the first half. Would be huge if Lincoln could find their way into the end zone here on this drive, or just get a field goal.
Eldridge has 5 completions, 108 yards.
And I wonder how many of those have been Hail Mary type passes. A couple of them.
Yep.
Togney is the halfback. They give to Emmett. He's met immediately. It's going to be 3rd and 9.
Green with the stop.
You know, Roosevelt is having trouble adjusting to the 4 receivers split to one side with the other receiver on the other side. And so far, it seems to have gone well for the Cardinals.
I'd try to exploit that, keep going to that, because right now it looks like Roosevelt's covering the run pretty well. It's been on the passing plays where Lincoln's had most of their success thus far.
Exactly.
I think the longest carry for Togny so far has been 12 yards, which if you compare that with the last couple of games.
He has a 12-yard carry and a 10-yard carry. Most of the rest are 5 or less.
3rd down and 9 from the Roosevelt 45-yard line. Eldridge takes a high shotgun snap and has to just throw it over the head of Errol Brotherton. I think he was under some pressure, and I couldn't tell if he was throwing that away or he was just rushed and made an errant throw. But it's 4th down and 9.
He's 5 of 9 now passing, but it is 4th down and 9. I'm going for it.
And I think you and Coach Schnaufer are on the exact same page because he's leaving his offense out there.
Well, I'm glad I'm on the same page with Coach Schnaufer because I'm not on the same page with Coach McCants.
You can make a meme out of that. Oh, yeah, we're going to run the ball a lot.
Right, I got all this room on my stat sheet that I keep for running the ball, and I got 4 carries.
But I love how he pointed out, if we do happen to throw, maybe you pay a little attention to Woods.
Right.
So 4th down and 9 for Lincoln. Again with the hard count. Roosevelt almost went off sides, and I don't think Roosevelt's going to get called for the offside this time because they didn't get into the neutral zone at the time of the snap. So this is going to be another delay game, Dave.
Delay a game on the Cardinal.
And now you might want to think about punting the football.
3:41 left to go in the half.
And that's exactly what they're going to do.
Let's see. Ricker head out there.
Lance Ricker is going to head out there.
Yep.
Ricker in the punt.
Got away a good punt last time. It had it returned. It was only a net of 3 yards on the punt.
Woods back to receive along with Davis.
So after all that's happened on this drive, it's going to end in a punt. Almost blocked. And it's on the ground, and he picks it up, and he is going to go. He's got blockers out in front, and no, pardon me, he is chased down from behind.
You know, drop the ball, and it take that bounce right back to you when you're a rusher.
In fact, he was able to run into momentum there.
Roosevelt will take over 1st and 10.
He fielded that ball at about the 25. Let's see, all the way down to the 20.
And I think this is an unsportsmanlike penalty on Coach Schnaufer right here. I saw him in the grill of a referee and a flag flew. So I think Schnaufer's going to get flagged.
55 yards on the punt return. The last 2 punts, Lance Ricker fielded that one on the bounce, stepped up, barely got it away, drove it through the middle. It's a pretty good kick, but returned.
And it does look like the flag might have been picked up, but I think it was Schnaufer on the sideline, looked pretty upset.
Unfortunately, conduct on Lincoln.
So
there it goes.
They are going to enforce the penalty on Coach Schnaufer there.
Wow.
So a good return, then 15 yards, and Roosevelt all but gifted this opportunity now.
Fielded that punt at the 30, and now Roosevelt's all the way down to the 10.
Might have been the one time I've ever seen where bobbling and actually might have helped a return man. Hand off to the left side. There's the gain of 4. Couldn't tell what Coach Schnaufer was upset about. I don't know if he might have thought he saw a hold there or whatever happened. It's been a frustrating half for the Cardinals.
It's been a bizarre first half.
It has been. I just don't know what to say. You have 3rd and 35. You pretty much convert it. Yet the drive still ends with Roosevelt taking it back to the 10.
Exactly, you know. Riley going to head over and talk to the coach.
So Riley going to talk to Coach Ryan McCants there. Coach McCants gives him the play. And it's now 2nd and 6. And they can get a first down at the 1, so it's not quite 2nd and goal. Power run formation. Riley gives it up the middle, and that's going to be a walk-in touchdown for number 1, Dontrell Betts. His first score of the evening.
Went right off of right guard for the touchdown. The time on that, 2:41. 7-yard run by Dontrell Betts.
And I'll say, Roosevelt doesn't have a whole lot of players suited up, but over on that sideline, they're bringing the energy right now, and I cannot blame them one bit because they are really just putting it to Lincoln on the road here in the first half.
Good.
And I think, so I kicked with a 1-inch block. I think that Owen Nathan is kicking off the ground. And got to give him credit there, because in high school you're allowed to block. And so he could potentially, be scouting kickers out here. That's what I'm trying to do. He's doing off the ground. Looks like he could attract some college attention. 2:41 left to play in the first half. Kelly Manning, State Farm. Kelly Manning is proud to be a sponsor of the Lincoln Cardinal football team. Let Kelly ensure your family's future by giving her a call today, or just email, text, or walk in anytime. Kelly Manning, State Farm. Seems like this is all of a sudden a very critical drive for Lincoln.
Can you get the dance team coaches to the booth, please?
If you're Coach Schnoffer, I think that you're going to want to try to, do any type of play calling you can. You got 2:41 to try and make sure you can get in the end zone to keep this one within 2 scores at least at halftime.
Cardinal need to finish off this drive.
Extend a warm welcome to Lincoln Youth Football's players.
And with all due respect, they're going to have to. They can't rely on those Hail Mary type passes all day.
Love to play next season. Check out the website and get added to the mailing list.
Remember, this is 21 unanswered from the Rough Riders. They're looking to stay undefeated and prove they are, in fact, a top 10 team in the state of Oregon. Parker Barnett's going to return this.
Barnett with the return.
It's out to the 32.
So the Cardinal will have 2:35 to work with to see if they can get a score on the board.
13-10 Cardinals.
Again, this Roosevelt team we knew coming in that they're a darn good football team. Very well coached by Coach McCants and Coach Caruso, just to name a couple on their coaching staff. Putting it together, again, not the biggest team roster-wise for number of players suited up, but they're playing really good football so far against the Lincoln Cardinals in a tough environment on the road. 21-3. Lincoln takes over at their own 31 after the kickoff. Eldridge going to throw again, rolling out to his left. He's looking for Parker Barnett.
Pass intended for Barnett, incomplete. Second down.
Dangerous throw. Barnett was covered underneath.
And as you mentioned, Dave, not easy for a right-handed quarterback to roll out to his left like that.
You got to throw across your body, and your momentum is taking you towards your left. It's a tough pass.
.229 left to play in the first half. Lincoln trying to find some type of spark here. And the give to Togny is going to be a TFL. We'll bring up third down and 11. Nothing seems to be working right now for Lincoln.
The only thing that's working is the unexpected.
So maybe, just have him go back and shotgun, roll out to the right and throw another one down there. Put Reverman, he's been in the middle of both of those plays.
Flood the pass route, see if he can hit something
I'd
on the
like
outside.
to see him go back to Garrett Schmokel in single coverage if they can get him again.
He looked good.
Tall, athletic. Looked like a very well-executed play. Eldridge being chased. We got a flag. That's complete to Parker Barnett. If this stands, this will be a first down reception for Parker, who's still on his feet to midfield.
I tell you what, if I had been a referee down there, I would have thrown multiple flags for
Horse collar tackle?
Yes, and one of the players tried to elbow him.
Barnett plays with a lot of fire and aggression.
Here's the referee's signal, holding.
On Roosevelt.
All right, and that's going to count.
So great play by Parker Barnett, and
First and 10
Props to
Cardinals.
Eldridge for finding him there.
19 yards on the completion to Barnett.
So Lincoln keeps the chains moving, but there's only a minute 30. They got to pick up the pace a little bit. Eldridge works him under center and pitches to Emmett Togney. Makes a man miss, but even though he's able to do that, only gets back to the line of scrimmage, and he's just had nowhere to go so far tonight. Roosevelt's front seven is winning the battle up front.
On that last play, granted, Parker Barnett was trying to go forward, and he was taking a couple of tacklers on his back, but that was completely unnecessary roughness on Roosevelt.
I would agree with you there.
And I don't point that out often, but it was that time.
I was surprised to see the flag stay in the pockets there. Man, Liam Eldridge trying to make another play, and this one is off the hands of a DB.
He threw that ball, let's see,
Into almost
40 yards in the air.
Roosevelt's had a couple of opportunities to get a pick, and that's about the only thing that hasn't gone right for them tonight.
Right.
Good mobility shown by Eldridge to escape what looked like a sack.
Ball was underthrown. I thought it was going to be picked, but
you know, you had two DBs there. They were probably trying to talk to each other and coordinate, and you could tell they were a little upset with themselves that they weren't able to intercept that football.
3rd and 4th, 48 seconds left to go in the half.
Liam Eldridge down the sideline looking for Garrett Schmokel, and it looks like he broke off the route a little bit too late.
4th down.
See Coach Schnoffer talking to Schmokel and Eldridge there to get in this 4th down play.
Eldridge is 6 of 13 passing, but for 127 yards.
So 43 seconds left in the first half. Trying a hard count. Get a free 5 yards. Roosevelt not biting this time. He looks over to Coach Schnoffer. He's got to be careful for another delay of game penalty, and Lincoln takes timeout.
Timeout, Lincoln.
Hard count won't get you a first down. It'll still leave you 5 yards short.
Tonight's game is being live
Only
streamed
42
on Oregon
seconds
Sports
left to play
Beat,
in
thanks
this
to our sponsor, Garfinkel
first
Orthodontics,
half.
celebrating 50 years of helping Portland smile. Dr.
Friendly House
Judah
is a
Elliott
nonprofit
from
community center
1992
and social
entire
service
team at
organization
Garfinkel
serving
Orthodontics
Portland since
are proud to
1930.
support Lincoln High
Join us
School
on
and try to
October
help your
13th at
family
Wallace
smile.
Park from noon to
Complimentary
2 for our
consultations
free
at
community kettle event
garfinkelortho.com.
featuring delicious free soup and activities. Connect with your community at fhpdx.org. So you got to think this is probably a passing situation here.
Got to be careful giving Roosevelt the ball back at midfield.
42 seconds is definitely enough time for this offense that likes to pass the ball.
Conrad Kelsey going to split far to the left.
Schmokel out there by himself again on the right. Out of the gun is Liam Eldridge. Eldridge rolls out across his body. Throws that one too far. It's going to be a turnover on downs.
Eldridge's pass intended for Barnett, incomplete.
Receiver kind of slowed down there at the end.
Roosevelt will take over on downs. First and
Now
10.
you've given Roosevelt the ball back. They got 36 seconds to try to put some more points up.
Premier Jets specializes in worldwide service and has experience visiting nearly every part of the world. We provide fast worldwide
Roosevelt
transport service to 6 continents,
will
including
take
all
over
Pacific
on
islands.
downs.
Our
Shout out
services
to
include an air
Matt
ambulance,
Prince, my
on-demand
longtime friend,
cargo,
coming
or
to
charter flights.
acknowledge me in the press
Premier
box.
Jets.
Father of my friend Noah played together at Lincoln. He was a great lineman. Roosevelt takes over from their own 49-yard line. 36 seconds left, and I'd think that Roosevelt would think pass first in this situation. Riley to the outside. He's got Woods with a ton of space. Woods breaking tackles. He's going to get to the end zone again. Touchdown, Rough Riders.
51 yards on the pass from Riley to Woods.
Riley with a touchdown.
One play.
It is all Roosevelt here at Mike
Lincoln
Walsh
27,
Field.
Lincoln 3. Pending the try.
Think of this. Woods has caught 2 touchdown passes and thrown one.
And it's only the first half.
Riley with the hold, Nathan with the try.
So, really good kicker Owen Nathan on for another PAT. For Roosevelt, looking to make it 4 for 4 after the 51-yard reception to Woods. And once again, Owen Nathan is perfect.
Think of this. Woods has 105 yards receiving. He has 76 yards passing.
I'm picking him up on fantasy, I'll tell you that. And I'll also tell you this. With that fourth extra point, kicker Owen Nathan has now outscored Lincoln. He's got 4 points. It's 28-3.
What did you say about him kicking off the ground?
So, in high school, you were allowed, I don't know if you do this, a lot of times people who aren't kickers don't realize, you were allowed to use a tee, they call it a block, of an inch. And I used a 1-inch block to make it easier. It was guys who were looking to go D1 or D2 college who would kick off the ground in high school, and that's what it looks like Nathan's doing.
Right. Well, I think when you're trying to get to the next level, you ought to play the same way the next level does. It's why I hate metal bats in the minor leagues.
Exactly. Because then when you get up to the next level, it takes people a while to adjust.
Right. What do you mean I'm hitting the ball 20 feet less?
They did a bunting study, and as you said, about 20 feet less is what would happen if you just do a normal bunt with a wooden bat versus what they use in college. And so credit to Owen Nathan, who looks like a really good kicker. McCants told me he came from a soccer game, and I definitely believe it, watching him kick.
Well, I was talking about my worst fears giving Roosevelt the ball back with 35 seconds at the midfield stripe.
And took one play. Lincoln could only hope for a big return right here.
Wow, nice kick.
Another nice kick from Nathan. Barnett fakes the reverse. Is swarmed by white jerseys, about 7 of them. Wouldn't be surprised if Lincoln might have taken a knee to run this out or just give a dive play.
Jackson and Causey.
When the halftime ends, we'll recap the scoring and give you some stats. It's going to be a longer break because it's homecoming, so.
Coach Schnoffer obviously going to have a lot to talk about with this team to try to get themselves back into this one. So right now, Coach McCants and Roosevelt dominating this football game ever since the first couple drives of the football game. (28-3). Liam Eldridge will go for the gun from the gun here. Eldridge launches one, looking for Barnett. Pardon me, he was looking for Parker Barnett. Just a little bit underthrown. He had a couple of, no, he was looking for Emmett Togna there, who was lined up as a receiver.
Flag down.
As I mentioned, Dave, Roosevelt's only loss was to a top 10 team in the country. Pardon me, in the state of Oregon. You can tell they're a darn good football team.
Face mask, Roosevelt.
Face mask on Roosevelt.
So that will give Lincoln 15 here.
First and 10 Cardinals.
First and 10 for Lincoln. Going to go empty backfield again. Togny's in the slot right now. Eldridge doesn't have a lot of time, and he's going to run this one himself. He will pick up a first down, I believe. 5 seconds left in the first half. Whether or not he made the sticks isn't going to matter because there's time for about one more play.
First and 10 Cardinals.
I'm going to do my impression of Coach McCants. Hey guys, we're going to run the ball tonight. So far, Roosevelt has 30 yards rushing, 181 passing.
I'm going to have to talk to him about that one after the game, have a good laugh about that.
He got us.
And I'm sure that Coach Schnoffer probably wasn't fooled. I mean, he's been watching film.
Right.
But he definitely got us. Roosevelt especially, Woods had a fantastic first half. And as I mentioned, only the first half, Ronald Woods, the senior, having a phenomenal night. His team up 28-3.
Healthy homes for first-time buyers and experienced investors alike.
Woods has 5 receptions. I mentioned Riley is 5 of 7 passing for 105 yards. All of those are to Woods. He has 105 yards receiving, but the other 76 yards in passing came from Woods to a receiver. Leading rusher in the game for Lincoln, Togney has 13 carries for 56 yards.
Yeah, I think that says a lot how much Roosevelt's been able to contain him.
Eldridge is 6 of 15 passing, but for 127 yards.
Had 2 big completions. And Eldridge out of the gun, time for 1 or 2 more plays, and this one not close to a completion. They forgot to run the clock there. So they didn't start it until after the play.
The clock keeper decided, whoops, I made a mistake here. Let's run it second off so nobody notices.
I think that he wanted 2 plays. And the refs are actually talking about this. And the refs,
I think the refs
were not fooled.
The refs weren't fooled. I think they're saying that's the end. It is. That's the end of the first half.
Lincoln 3, Roosevelt Rough Riders 28 in complete control. We'll get to stats here in 1 second. Friendly House is a nonprofit community center and social service organization serving Portland since 1930. Our programs and volunteer opportunities are designed to bring folks together to make a better neighborhood for everyone. Connect with your community at fhpdx.org. And Dave, I'll let you take it away here.
All right, let's recap the scoring in the first quarter. If you can believe it, Lincoln got on the scoreboard first. 5:08 left to go in the first quarter. 27-yard field goal by Lance Ricker made it 3-0. But Roosevelt came right back. In fact, they came back 20 seconds later on a 76-yard pass from Woods to the receiver. The point after touchdown by Nathan was good. It was 7-3 at that point in time. 3 scores in the second quarter, all of them by Roosevelt. At the 9:22 mark, a 33-yard pass from Riley to Woods, the point after touchdown by Nathan. At the 2:44 mark, a 7-yard touchdown by Montrell Betts, the point after touchdown by Nathan, and it was 21-3. And then that score that came with 26 seconds up on the clock, the 51-yard pass from Riley to Woods, and the point after by Nathan, that made our score 28-3. I mentioned those individual stats. Montrell Betts, 6 rushes for 30 yards. For Lincoln, the leading rusher is Togney with 13 carries for 46 yards. And Eldridge is 6 of 16 for 127 yards. And he's thrown that to 6 different receivers. So a lot. Okay, so sharing the ball around, but just not a lot things to be able to do. I think that those Togney stats stay a lot when he had 140 in the first quarter against Jefferson a couple of weeks ago. And of course, we mentioned so many times, but Coach McCann's told us before the game that didn't look too confident saying it, said we're a run-first team, and he got us because Roosevelt been passing all over the Lincoln Cardinals in the first half. Now, I don't want to say the Lincoln isn't incapable of scoring. They just haven't been able to put a drive together, and they've had some bad breaks, but Lincoln could still come back in this game.
They got the firepower. Tell you what, if you can find a way to run that power and get Togney going, get the offensive line playing a little better, but mix that in, that'll make it easier for Eldridge to find his guys downfield. And I think, again, if Lincoln just comes back and has a great drive, puts up 6, the momentum could swing to them. We saw them make a comeback attempt against Franklin and got to within 3 points in the third quarter.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll take a break here at halftime. We'll come back with a couple of minutes to go before the start of the second half. Our score at Lincoln High School in PIL action at halftime, it is Roosevelt 28, Lincoln 3.
The Lincoln Dance Team. We'll next be joined by the Lincoln High School Cardinal Marching Band, who will take the field. Under the direction of David Kays and drum majors Rai Kreuzenroik and Adele Zetseva, the band will perform the song Birdland from the jazz fusion group Weather Report. Joining the band is the Cardinal Color Guard under the direction of Alexis Dooley. Last year, the marching band received a Gold Standard Award at the Portland Rose Festival Starlight Parade and toured Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. This year, the band and Color Guard will be traveling to Los Angeles, where they will be receiving a tour and clinic at USC and performing at Disneyland. Birdland is a song that pays homage to the great jazz performers that performed at the New York Jazz Club, Birdland. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lincoln High School Cardinal Marching Band. We're going to get acquainted momentarily with William Wallace. William Wallace, please come to the announcer booth. We have an item of yours.
Swerving in my love life. Head on the swivel, you know, serving me a no-no. Clean as a whistle as I pull out in my road.
Welcome back. About to get underway. Second half, Lincoln High School football on Oregon Sports Beat. Lincoln in a hole, Dave, playing a top 12-ranked Roosevelt team. Could be the best team they've seen all season so far, and it's showing in that first half.
By the way, this is homecoming, and homecoming lasted 20 minutes. They had a lot of people. Big crowd here on homecoming night, and I want to thank the people who came up to the press box, Lincoln fans who said they were listening to us. So
shout out to Robin and Candy, longtime friends of my mom's, longtime friends of mine. Parent of Noah. Again, I played with Noah Prince, his younger brother Riley. He's a lineman here just a couple years ago. You probably recognize
I do.
That name.
My 6th year doing Lincoln. Before that, I did Wilson for a couple of years.
And they mentioned Zane Mills as well. That was during my time, so that was just before you. He's actually a pitcher in the St. Louis Cardinals organization now.
Did I ask you before, did you play with Nate Osmos?
Oh, yeah. I did not play with Nate. I played with Nolan and Nick. Nate was Nick, before me.
Nick, I'm sorry, with Nick. Nick is a running back at Montana.
He is a phenomenal athlete. He's a great guy. He was one of my good friends in high school. Want to get in touch with him, see how he's doing. But great athlete. All the Osmos, fantastic kids, fantastic
right,
athletes.
all of them.
All of them. Nate played at Dartmouth, very prestigious school. Played baseball there. Nolan played football at Tufts University, another great school. So
I played baseball in college. I had a scholarship. I played at a small liberal arts college in Iowa.
Yeah.
And I made the team when I was a freshman. And in my very first game in the 5th inning, my first game in college, I tore my ACL.
I thought you were going to say you went yard in your first game. You tore your ACL.
That was the end of the dream.
So you played at 5 innings of baseball in college.
5 innings of college ball. I like to tell people I tore my ACL sliding into third, and I have people who, they envision, was he trying to stretch out a double into a triple? What happened? The truth of the matter is that I tore my ACL sliding back into third.
You were trying to get back after a pickoff or something? Or
it doesn't sound quite as exciting then, does it?
I was going to say, Dave, I've not heard of a lot of torn ACLs in baseball. I've heard a lot in soccer, football, maybe basketball.
I caught my front cleat in the ground and slid over the top of my leg.
And what does it feel like? Do you know right away?
Knew right away.
Well, it's still you still play college baseball. And you got on the base pass. Did you get a hit or did you walk or whatever?
I had singled.
All right, there we go. So
I was late on a pitch and singled to right.
So you batted what, 500 then if you had a couple at bats?
I did bat 500.
500. That's pretty darn good, Dave.
My college career.
Might not have qualified for the
right
for the best of all time.
I didn't qualify for anything.
It's still cool that you played college baseball. As we were mentioning, Zane Mills. He played quarterback and D end here when I was playing kicker here, and he played at Washington State, the Cougs.
I like to. I don't tell the story often, but I did play basketball, baseball, and football in high school. My high school football team, we won 4 games.
And how long?
4 years.
Okay, all right.
And one of those years we won 2.
Hey, so you got a winless season then, it sounds like, probably?
We did have one of those.
What position were you playing? DB or running back, something like that?
I got on the field not a lot because I was so small
okay.
at that point in time, but I played I did in my high school career. I scored 2 touchdowns. I scored them in the same game in the quarter when we were behind by 40.
Hey, it counts though.
So
sounds the same. As long as you get them. And I was going to say, you seem a little short to play basketball. You on the basketball court too?
I can shoot.
Okay, yep. There you go.
But now, remember, in the early 1960s, centers on teams were 6'2", 6'3".
Oh, seriously? Okay. So point guards could be 5'6", 5'7".
Right, they were short. I was 5'10", and I was playing a forward.
No way.
Yeah, I was.
Nowadays.
That wouldn't get me on the court.
No. See a lot of talented point guards, of course, under 6 feet tall. Allen Iverson comes to mind. Got quite a. Who was the Purdue player who was player of the tournament? Carson Edwards at 5'10", phenomenal point guard. Then, of course, you got the Chris Pauls and the Nate Robinson. So 28-3. Roosevelt going to kick off, so Lincoln needs a good drive here, Dave.
They need a drive. They need to change the momentum of the offense that has just kind of had some big plays, but can't turn that into anything on a consistent basis.
And if you would have told me they would convert on 3rd and 35 but be behind by 25 points, I'm not sure I would have believed you.
Exactly. On a tip ball, though.
Tipped by Reverman into the arms of Rank.
Another great kick.
To the 10, and they are going to reverse it this time. They faked it a couple times in the first half. They do reverse it this time, and was that Reverman?
Let's see who gets up there. It's out to the 30. Togney.
Running angry. Probably got about 7 yards after contact.
Everybody better be angry.
I bet you Coach Schnoffer probably a little fired up in that halftime locker room trying to get his team amped up for this second half. And if you're Coach McCants, I would think he'd just say, hey guys, this is far from over. We got to keep doing what we do, put more points on that scoreboard.
At this point in time, you want to crack into the top 10. You need to score as many points as you can in every single game to impress the voters.
Exactly, and even if a coach tells you it's not on their mind, they're lying. It's got to be on their mind, and so do not expect Roosevelt to let up 1 inch. Here's a design carry from Eldridge, and he lost the football, and the Rough Riders jump right on it.
You know, for 5 years, I was a voter in the polls, the Oregon polls, for all the classifications, and I obviously couldn't get out and see all the games, so what's one of the first things I looked at? How many points did you score?
Just like if you're in the college football rankings, how much did you beat them by?
Right.
And I think Coach McCann's licking his chops right now after taking over at the 35-yard line.
I'm Ohio State fan. Ohio State wins 21-7. They're not moving up.
They're not moving up, Jack. When they beat Notre Dame by 1 point, I mean, might have moved up one because they played at a good team, but not nearly as if they beat them by 20 or 30.
Right.
Out of the gun, Riley.
Look out.
We've seen this before. Great coverage. Was that Togney?
Might be. Is that Togney 5?
Togney is number
Second down.
I think.
Let's see.
Was that Barnett?
Or it could be Barnett. Barnett is 6, and that's looking like 6.
That was Parker Barnett in coverage, I believe. He was on him like glue that time.
Had the inside coverage that time, was able to not interfere, but bat that ball away. Still, it was a good throw by Riley.
When you got Woods down there, just get it up in that area, and you know you got a chance. Power run set, and they are going to do a handoff left side to
Betts. You know, I suppose in the huddle when Riley gets back there, he said, looks for Woods, and he says, you go deep.
And I think that might be what they're going to do now because it's 3rd and 10. After the carry from Betts. He says, line, give me time, you go deep. And I think
pretty much, yeah.
That could be what Lincoln needs to look out for right now.
Well, I'm impressed with Riley. Riley's a sophomore, and he can throw the ball.
Certainly can. Last couple quarterbacks Lincoln has faced have had good arms. We saw Will Reed of Franklin last week throwing for at least 200 yards in every game so far. Franklin's 4-1. Wonder how they're doing against Grant tonight. Not on the same page with Woods that time. I believe that was Woods looking for.
Now, we were just bragging there, and that's the first bad pass.
I was going to say that
Riley's thrown.
That's the only pass play they've had that they didn't look like they were in sync. Lincoln's probably wondering why couldn't that have happened more at the start of the football game. Haven't seen a lot of miscommunications. So it does look like Roosevelt's going to go for it. Coach McCants decided,
I would.
Yep, you're on the 35-yard line of your opponent. Your defense has been playing rock solid. Why not? Low snap. Evading the pocket is Riley. He's looking for the end zone. Tipped and incomplete. Barnett in coverage again.
And they ruled that he was out of bounds when he caught it.
Oh, he didn't catch the ball.
He did catch the ball. The referee signaled out of bounds. He's still got it.
And so Lincoln takes over on downs. So after a disastrous start on the first play fumble, Lincoln gets a defensive stand. After a homecoming celebration, Lincoln looking for an energy boost behind 28-3 very early in the third quarter. Student section still packed. They still believe. Liam Eldridge working out of the shotgun. He's going to run it another keeper himself, and he's going to get hammered.
Stopped by Johnson.
Lose 5 on the play.
Forward progress, they're going to say he only lost a couple, but still a TFL nonetheless.
And that is the 3rd sack of the game for Roosevelt. They've sacked Eldridge 3 times for a loss, 29 yards.
A couple times where it could have been more, but Eldridge evaded the pocket. A couple times it ended up being big completions for Lincoln, but other than that, really got to give Roosevelt a ton of credit for completely dominating the front 7 and taking Togney out of the game. Because that's what it comes down to. If you win in the front 7, there's only so much Togney can really do. They give to Togney, and he does find a little bit of space, but only picks up 4, maybe 5.
Redbird with the stop.
On the stop for Roosevelt that time was Redbird. Zayshawn Redbird with a strong tackle. 3rd down and 9 for the Cardinals. You know, it just seems like night and day from when Lincoln was playing Jefferson. Well, now they're in Jefferson's shoes right now in a big hole. Just seems like Lincoln needs some sort of big play to try and get some spark into this football game for them. Doesn't get much easier for Lincoln. Playing Wells, as you said, I think next week. And Eldridge is going to get sacked for the 4th time.
That time he's going to lose 12 yards.
4th down.
4 sacks. Right, the Cardinal have Wells, Grant, and McDaniel left to play. I believe it's in that order too. Wells 3-0 coming in tonight. Grant 2-1. McDaniel 0-3.
Ricker into punt.
No, I'm sorry, not
Back to
McDaniel.
receive.
Cleveland. Cleveland. We've already played McDaniel. That was a big win.
19-14. Lincoln was able to hold off a late rally. Lincoln going to have to punt again. And it's another high snap. Kick it out of the back of the end zone. And he picks it up and boots it.
We've seen that before.
What
haven't we?
a play, and this time it worked out well for Lance Ricker.
That's actually going to be, instead of having to take a safety or get tackled in the end zone, he actually got the punt away, and it went 35 yards.
Can't believe that he was able to. Don't see that too often.
We've talked about punters on other teams who've had trouble coming up to this game, and now Ricker is having trouble.
Wallace and Max Shimke.
I will say, got a pretty good punt away.
I don't know how he did.
I don't know how he did.
Picked the open spot and punted it through there.
And so now, leading 28-3, Roosevelt takes over their own 43-yard line. 8 minutes, 11 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter.
Ricker was over talking with a couple of players and the special teams coach. Let's see if we can get that worked out.
I think the thing to work out there is snap it to my hands.
Pass to Davis is complete.
Screen pass to Davis.
Matthews with the stop.
Jasmine Davis, number 8,
2nd down.
on the reception for Roosevelt. It went for 3 yards.
First reception by somebody other than Woods.
I was about to ask that exact question. Seems like it's been, so they went an entire half just going to Woods. Or actually, no, because Woods was the one who completed that one pass.
Right.
So first from Riley to somebody other than Ronald Woods.
Exactly.
Riley under center. Pretty nice hit after a hitch route gain of 3. Brings
Another
up 3rd
catch
down.
by Davis.
3rd down.
So 6 yards last couple plays for Davis. It's 3rd down.
$121 yards passing now for Riley. 76 for Woods.
Riley throws off his back foot. It's a tough throw. Roosevelt sideline wants Laundry. They're not going to get it, and it's 4th down. Barnett keeps getting tested, and so far this half he's answered the call.
On the defense.
That was intended for Davis. 3 straight passes there for Davis.
And Roosevelt, finally we have a flag thrown. There's been some jawing I saw between the teams, and I can't help but wonder if that's what's going to be flagged here.
Talking to Lincoln.
Usually not a good sign.
Dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
And that's the last thing that the Cardinals need. Oh, it's offsetting.
Offsetting fouls. Okay, well, at least that's a break.
And I won't call any. And another penalty flag. This one coming from the referee who's on the Roosevelt sideline. Got to think this could be against the Rough Riders.
Another flag down on the flag.
And I saw some jawing between a Lincoln DB and a Roosevelt receiver after that last play. That lasted for quite a while. That was probably where the offsetting penalties came in.
Right, this will be another dead ball foul. There it is, dead ball foul.
And this one,
unsportsmanlike conduct
against Roosevelt.
Back them up 15.
So now they'll have to punt.
So 2 unsportsmanlike conducts on the same play by Roosevelt, one by Lincoln. Wow.
So Lincoln wins it, net 15. And Roosevelt will punt. It'll be Owen Nathan. You know he can place kick real well. We'll see how his punting skills are. Parker Barnett to return.
Nathan in the fight.
Roosevelt, it's a tough time getting people in and out of the game. It's a pretty good snap. Nathan with a high punt, not a ton of distance. Takes a pretty good hop for Lincoln. Bounces to the 39-yard line.
Down by Burks at the 39.
26 yards on the punt that time for Nathan.
That was his first punt of the ball game, I believe. Because Roosevelt went for it. I think
so.
Yeah, Roosevelt went for it in the first quarter. Ever since that first down stop and field goal, not a lot's gone right for the Cardinals. They could use something on this drive. 7:09 left to play. Third quarter.
Oh.
First and 10, Lincoln. From the run 39 after the punt. There's a sweep action to Barnett. Roosevelt's been ready for everything tonight. Gets out to the 41.
First carry of the night for Barnett. By the way, mentioning running backs, Elwood Gordon out tonight, not playing.
And it doesn't look like we've seen a lot of. We haven't seen Piersnick either, have we?
I think the word was they weren't sure what the situation. I'm looking down the sidelines. He's 45, and I don't see 45.
Coach Schnaufer did tell us he hadn't practiced all week. So they might have decided didn't want to rush him back.
Last week, Brady Holland was injured, and he's playing.
Whole game. Played the whole game. There right now. And I'm not sure who has the ball. That was a give up the gut. That was Oxford on the carry.
Enzo Oxford on the carry. And he got 5.
So makes it third and manageable, third and about 3. About 2. $5:54 left to play. Third quarter. Lincoln desperately needing a spark. Hard count, almost got Roosevelt again. Eldridge hands it off to Togney. Fights for the first down inside midfield, and that's a great, oh no, the ball was stripped! The ball was stripped out of the hands of Emmett Togney, and Roosevelt
Let's see
takes over.
Yep, that's going to be a turnover.
And Togney was running really hard, and I think I saw that Roosevelt linebacker just ripping that ball out, and it looked like a clean rip. So it's the ball never came loose per se, but it is technically going down in the books as a fumble, I believe.
Stripped out of his hands.
You don't see that from Toggy very often. Very strong back, and got to give credit to, wish I could tell who did that on Roosevelt, just ripped it right out of there. So Roosevelt takes over from the Lincoln 38-yard line.
Betts with the carry.
Give to Betts for 7.
Tackled by Oxford.
If you're wondering about a running clock, you have to be up 35.
They're up 25 right now, so still got a little ways from that. Something Lincoln obviously does not want to see happen. Roosevelt trying to keep Lincoln out of the end zone in this game. Another give to Betts. I think he is close to the marker.
Betts with the carry.
Just about a foot and a half short.
.424 left in the third, 28-3, Roosevelt leads.
Riley from under center just sneaks it.
Riley
Good play.
keeper.
First down. Kalen Riley really has been efficient tonight. Hasn't really made any obvious mistakes. Roosevelt hasn't turned the ball over, have they?
That's only the 9th rush of the night for Roosevelt. 8 of them by Betts. That's the first one by Riley.
Came right out of the gate, passing the ball in their first big play. Was a pass from Ronald Woods. Went for a 76-yard touchdown on that one-play drive, and ever since then, it's been all Rough Riders here at Mike Walsh Field. Roosevelt looking on like they're on their way to staying undefeated in PIL play. A flag.
That's going to be before the play started.
We have an injured Rough Rider on the field right now. Evolution Salon. Evolution Hair Design, Portland's best kept secret, celebrating 30 years of making Portland beautiful. Located across the street from the home of the Cardinals. Are you ready to evolve your style? Evolution Hair Design is now accepting new clients.
And you know, sitting where we are, we can look right across. If you remember where I parked my car is parked right in front of Evolution Salon.
It's good to see it's all in one piece still there. Don't jinx anything.
No.
So that was a false start on Roosevelt. Good to see the injured player up quickly. Coach McCants went out there to check on him when he went down. .3:30 left to play, third quarter. Lincoln in a run-heavy defense. They bring a lot of pressure, and Riley is going to break a tackle and get back to the line of scrimmage, so it's not technically a sack.
Well, I don't know if he got to the line of scrimmage. He would need to get...
And it's becoming a mess out here.
There's a flag thrown on the sideline.
Right where Lincoln...
Flag down on the play.
Where Lincoln is.
He would need to get to the 30... No, I'm sorry.
And we're going to have to see what this penalty is. And we have another after the play penalty. This is an unnecessary roughness on the Rough Riders.
15 yards going to be on Roosevelt.
So Roosevelt getting a little bit, I want to say, sloppy here with the penalties. Coach McCants probably not going to be too happy with that.
For those of you who remembered Coach McCants when he played at Oregon State at running back, he looks like he could still play.
I was about to say, we talked to him before the game.
He looks like he could play right now.
He's well over 6'2", got in great shape. And you said it, he could strap on the pads and play at Cal tomorrow if he really wanted to.
Right.
Second and long.
Can't say enough good things about Coach McCants and Coach Caruso, and that's part of why Roosevelt might be in the top 10 after this week is they are really well coached, it looks like. As I say that, though, they are getting penalized a lot in this quarter. So it's going to bring up, see if I can do the math here, about 2nd and 28, 2nd and 30.
Oh, my goodness. You have to get all the way down to the 17. And
a sack! Shooting out like a cannon that time was number 50 for Lincoln.
It was 2nd down and 30, and there's a flag.
Oh, my.
So there's a lot of jawing going on.
And that was Owen Hendren getting in there
on the sack.
On the sack.
So it would be 3rd and 29, but there's a penalty.
And if this is on Roosevelt, they could be looking at a 3rd and 44.
They're going to talk to, no, they're going to pick the flag up. The referee's going to turn around. Let's see if he gives a signal here.
Sideline warning.
Sideline warning.
Sideline warning. Players want to, they get exuberant. They step out onto the field. It's a warning the first time, and the second time it's a penalty.
3rd and long.
It's the second time I've said this tonight, but it's 3rd down and the length of the Fremont Bridge.
47. Or, I'm sorry, 38.
They hand it off to Betts. He's going to get some of those yards back.
He's going to get 10 of them back.
And I would think that Roosevelt would be happy with punting it right here up 25. Just hope the game doesn't get too chippy, as we've seen a little bit.
Right. A lot of penalties now, and they're not the good kind of penalties.
Not the good kind of penalties.
Personal fouls, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Beautiful night here in Portland, Oregon. As I told you, I hadn't been back to my alma mater until tonight, and I'm blown away with the facilities here.
Beautiful. Inside the arena, the basketball arena is beautiful.
You said they even have escalators inside.
It is beautiful inside the basketball arena. The first game ever that they did in there, I did that, and it was so much fun.
Probably had a great crowd for that one.
So now I did the first basketball game, and I did the first football game at the
new place. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've still kept you around. 6 year for Dave doing Lincoln sport. Is it your 6 year for basketball as well for Lincoln?
I'm not sure if we've done all the Lincoln games since then, but multiple years doing basketball.
So Roosevelt has 4th and a mile, and they're going to send Owen Nathan on the punt.
Only school I've worked longer for is Central Catholic.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
When was your first for them?
It was, I'm sure it must have been probably a basketball game.
You gonna make it to any Central Catholic games this year?
Well, there's a volleyball game coming up in 2 weeks, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do that.
Central Catholic's ranked 2 up at the top of the state right now, aren't they, for football?
4th.
4th, and they have not lost, obviously. Who do they play tonight?
I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure. They're traditionally very good.
Oh yeah.
Beat
Jesuit in the so-called Holy War.
The thing of it is, Central Catholic is good in everything.
Everything.
If you've ever been in their gym, and I don't know if you have, you look around at all the banners that they have hanging up there. There are so many.
Remember Lincoln's baseball team lost? Pardon me. They actually beat them by a walk-off in the postseason baseball, but they always go far in everything.
2:28 left in the third, 28-3. No score here in the third quarter, so still it remains Roosevelt 28, Lincoln 3.
As you mentioned, nobody scored here in the third quarter. Lincoln would need a long drive here. They motion Parker Barnett, and they give it to him up the middle after motion again.
No, that was Togney.
Oh, pardon me.
Faked the handoff on that jet sweep to Barnett, gave it up the middle to Togney.
Of course, biggest story of the night. And another penalty. It's going to be on Roosevelt.
You know, you get a lot of unsportsmanlike conducts and unnecessary roughness and personal fouls. The referees makes a report to the league.
Does seem to be the direction that's possible at this point.
Roosevelt.
And that's another unsportsmanlike conduct.
Roosevelt's had at least 4 tonight. I'd like to say 6 or 7.
They've had at least 4 here in the second half.
Yep.
That is good for a Cardinals first down.
Certainly not the way Lincoln wants to gain their yards. But one of the big stories tonight, just the run game for Lincoln's not really working.
Togney with a total now. Let's see. .61 yards rushing. I'm sorry, let me back that up. 54 yards rushing.
I'm not entirely sure what's going on the field right now.
And the referees went over. They want to talk to Coach McCants.
You have this many flags.
And what the flags are for, you know, I think he could be issuing a warning. You know, this game could be, referees have authority to call the game.
Hopefully it's not to that point yet. I haven't seen any pushing and shoving after the plays.
Or any fights, but something's going on, and the referee went over, and he's talking to Coach McCants now.
Certainly not what Coach McCants wanted to be dealing with when his team's up 28-3. Some of the crowd's starting to get a little restless here.
Well, the game was moving along pretty fast, but the third quarter has drug on for a while.
And as they talk to Coach McCants, I want to tell you about Selco. Selco, founded by educators in 1936, Selco Community Credit Union is committed to serving our community and being a trusted financial advocate. Whatever a good life means to you, they want to help you get there. Stop by their Forest Park branch on Northwest Thurman to learn more. Selco.
And the referees are still talking to Coach McCants.
We see a Roosevelt player sitting down, a defensive lineman. He's taking a seat. And he's not injured because he was fine a couple minutes ago.
Right, he was sitting down because whatever's going on is taking a while.
It's taking an awful long time.
I'm not sure he's a defensive lineman. I think he's a corner.
Oh,
he's got a 2 number.
Stretching out a little bit. Long conversation with Coach McCants, and I'll tell you, Coach McCants is a very mild-mannered guy. After being coached by him for multiple years, I can almost guarantee you he was not yelling or getting super angry with the referees. He's probably just trying to do whatever he can to stop these penalties.
And they're marching off the 15 yards on sportsmanlike conduct.
First and 10 Lincoln.
It's going to be a Lincoln first down.
So it feels like we've had an hour between snaps. 2:12 left to play in the third quarter. .210 left to play, third. Handoff up the gut. Again, Roosevelt making sure it's going nowhere. They got to be careful not to get any unnecessary roughness.
Johnson with the
and that's Rank on the carry. Cameron Rank, his first carry of the night.
At this point, they might not want to use Togney too much, thinking it's a game that they're unlikely to come back in.
Well, remember, next week it's Wells, who's also undefeated at the top of the PIL.
It's going to be a big challenge, just like Roosevelt is tonight, and Lincoln has not been able to answer the call of the Roosevelt Rough Riders. They're having their best season in a long time, Dave.
Well, they've been pretty good here for a while. You know, you'd like to see a PIL team go to the quarterfinals
or semifinals.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe Roosevelt this season, possibly on that drought. And looks like Eldridge pretty much just went right to the line on the keeper there.
I'm not sure
where that play was designed to go.
No gain. 3rd and 10 coming up.
See Coach Schnoffer talking with Liam Eldridge, trying to draw up a play as the third quarter winds down. Third down and 10. Liam Eldridge gets it away, just not on the same page with Conrad Kelsey.
Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
And incomplete. Fourth down.
Don't know if Lincoln figures nothing to lose, let's go for it, or if they're going to send the punt team on here. I don't see Lance Ricker coming onto the field, and now, as I say that, here it comes. This punt will be the last play. Never mind, I forgot the clock stopped. The incompletion.
And what you want to see at least is a good snap to Lance,
who has been chasing the ball around the last couple of games.
Twice now in a row, he's chased the ball back into the end zone. Both times got the kick away.
And I was telling him to kick it in the back of the end zone, but he proved me wrong that last time. We'll see if they can get a better
heads-up
snap.
play by Lance Ricker.
And this one is too low. Skips to him, and he has to get it away real quickly. It skips into the arms. And I think that's a face mask.
Might be, you know.
Not going to call it.
Ricker might have a future as a shortstop.
I was literally about to say something about middle infielder.
He's fielded a couple of ground balls that were pretty good.
One thing we've learned about Ricker from these bad snaps is that he's an athlete.
Roosevelt.
I thought that was a face mask on that play.
Certainly
too,
looked like one. Refs might have sore arms from throwing flags so many times tonight. They decided to let it go. Maybe this could be the last play of the third quarter if it's a run or a completed pass. Roosevelt leads 28-3, and there has still not been a score in the third quarter. It's a pitch right side.
Betts with the carry.
Betts goes right up the middle, picks up a yard, and that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. BioLounge is a Northwest Portland functional medicine clinic that partners with patients to support their unique health goals. Whether aiming to treat a condition, prevent chronic disease, or optimize health, our highly trained providers leverage the latest in scientific research and technology to provide exceptional care and outcomes. We believe health is a lifelong journey and are proud to support the Lincoln football program. Elite Real Estate. Michelle Shahan, our dedicated realtor at Elite Real Estate, strongly supports Cardinal football just like a strong offensive line. Ready to score your next home? Make contact with her today. Elite Real Estate. So, not a very, I'd say, exciting third quarter, scoreboard-wise, and Lincoln needed a spark. They didn't get one.
Well, they didn't give up any points that quarter either. A quarter that was plagued by penalties, unnecessary roughness, unsportsmanlike conduct.
One of the sloppiest penalties quarters I've seen in football.
This year, it clearly is the worst I've seen.
So 2nd and 9 for Roosevelt. We switch sides of the field. 2nd and 9 for the Rough Riders from their own 45-yard line. Bit of a change up before the play. Out of the gun works Riley. Screen pass. Missed tackle. Steps out of bounds inside of midfield.
Passed up by Davis.
Davis
Forced
again.
out by Dalton.
His third catch of the night, I believe.
Coriani.
It is.
Still going to give him about
5.
5. Brings up 3rd and about 4. Make it 5.
Okay. Third down.
Roosevelt happy to keep that clock moving. There's a handoff up the middle. Betts is going to be about half a yard shy. And I would bet nearly anything here that Coach McCants is going to go for it. Why wouldn't he? Oh, is that only? Wait a second. Fourth down. It is fourth down.
Correction, fourth down.
Fourth and a yard.
Cardinals stopped one of these earlier on. Let's see what they do here.
Back in the first quarter.
That's
Close to stopping that one, but
not enough.
Riley does get there.
Riley with the keeper, stopped by Hendren.
Hendren on the tackle that time.
See Ev Gelly motioning first down on Roosevelt, and he's right. That should move the sticks, and they're telling him to. $11:05 left to play in the third quarter. Riley's going to go from the gun again. And a flag.
Flag down on the play.
Ben, the first 2 quarters took about 40 minutes to play. The third quarter took about 40 minutes to play.
Late game, Roosevelt.
That says it all. Game plagued by penalties and a 28-3 Roosevelt lead.
First and 15.
Frustrating night for the Lincoln Cardinals.
Penalties on Roosevelt, backs it up 5, first and 15 at midfield.
Now Riley's going to go under center and hand it off to Betts.
Betts
Finds a crease. Betts spins off of a tackle, and he might house this. 20, 15, 10, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
40-yard run for Betts.
That might be the longest halfback run of the night, Dave, if I'm not mistaken.
And that gives him 95 yards on the night. Yeah, he only had one other carry of 10 yards. So he's got, let's see, 12 carries, 95 yards.
I believe before that, the longest carry was by Togney of 12 yards. So up it to 40 right there.
Right.
All the way back in the first quarter. First down and goal. Here's Betts over the left side. Betts keeps the legs churning. There's a flag down.
We better wait and see what this one is, because
the ref didn't even signal touchdown.
Betts bowled his way into the end zone, but there may have been a block on the outside that was not legal.
And again, usually if a play is not blown dead, they'd signal touchdown. I didn't even see a signal.
Right.
So I don't know what's going on.
Right, that's a good indication, because nobody signaled it was a touchdown.
Likely will not stand then. And this is on Roosevelt.
Penalty against Roosevelt.
It looks like they're going to back up. It looks to me like 15, but we'll see. Now the Rough Riders are going to move up.
And so what are they calling here?
Well, I don't know. It's first and goal from the 7.
So it's almost like that last play just didn't happen. I couldn't tell you, but first down and goal for Roosevelt from the Lincoln 7-yard line. They got a fullback in the game here. They give to Betts.
Betts with the carry.
Betts gets down inside the 5-yard line.
Couple of yards for Betts. He's closing in on 100. Of course, 40 that on one play.
Great run a moment ago from Betts. Roosevelt, no need to pass at this point in the game. Just want to keep the clock going. Especially if the ground game's been working on this drive. Fumbled snap. They're still going to get it to Betts.
Hand off to
Betts wants the end zone. He's close, but I think he's brought down just inside the 1 yard line. Credit to a broken play, still being positive there for 3.5 yards.
You know, Riley dropped the ball, picked it up, went ahead with the play, rolled to the right, or went down the line of scrimmage to the right, pitched it to Betts. Betts got to the inside the 1.
So it's going to be 3rd down and goal from the half-yard line. Roosevelt, of course, has held Lincoln out of the end zone tonight, and this, if Roosevelt punches it in, would be 34 unanswered points. Got Betts in there at halfback. They got a fullback in front of him. Riley under center. Sneaks this one himself.
Riley, the keeper.
And he did not get in.
Stop short.
Wow.
So it's going to be 4th down and goal from, if that was at the half-yard line, this is going to be at about the 6-inch line.
He looked for a hole, thought he saw it over the left guard, dived right behind him, and didn't get in.
And I'm no expert, but I'd like to think Roosevelt's probably going to go.
It's 4th and goal from maybe the 1-foot line.
4th down.
Even if Lincoln does make the stop here, Roosevelt's killed over 5 minutes on this drive. Gotta think they might run Betts in this situation. 7:35 left to play in the game. Roosevelt trying to put an exclamation point on this one. They give to Betts, and he does just that. Run over the left side, and his first touchdown of the game.
Roosevelt touchdown. I think it's the Roosevelt 34, Lincoln 3.
Roosevelt up 34-3.
Time on that, 7:30. Point after touchdown coming up from Nathan.
So as I mentioned, not only did they pick up a touchdown, but killed a lot of clock to all but put this game away. Now, question, Dave, do you think we might see any of Finn Davies?
I don't know. They went with the other one, the freshman Wishbrook.
Pardon me, Wishbrook, yeah. High snap, kick is still good from Nathan.
Line drive that through.
He knew he made it, and we got 2 flags on the field. And it's getting chippy out there.
Flag down on the play.
Getting.
It's been chippy, hasn't it? You're right. It probably wasn't the right term for me to use there. Getting. It's chippiness on that play.
Going to get assessed on the kickoff.
Saw Lincoln players talking to one of their guys and saying, "What are you doing? You know, calm down." My guess is this is going to be on the Cardinals.
Foul.
No, I was just thinking.
It's on Roosevelt.
My mother and father graduated from Theodore Roosevelt High School.
Did they really?
Not in Oregon. Theodore Roosevelt High School in Dayton, Ohio. Now, this Roosevelt High School, they're called the Rough Riders. I like that. My mom and dad's high school, Theodore Roosevelt, they were called the Teddies.
That's,
and you know,
polar opposites.
And when they in basketball, in
Teddies
basketball, when they'd win a game at the end, the fans would all throw teddy bears out onto the court. Now, I don't think I was imposing as the Rough Riders.
No, I would say probably not.
Probably not.
That's night and day. I will say some PIL roots. Neither of my parents were in the PIL. My grandpa, who's unfortunately passed on, he went to Jefferson High School.
Oh, okay.
So he was a Jefferson Democrat.
Do you know what year he graduated?
Oh, man. I would probably guess sometime in, if I can do my math here, the 50s.
Before the Terry Baker years.
Yes. Before the Terry Baker years. And I had no idea that Baker had gone to Jefferson until you relayed that to me. And
Mel and Ray Renfro went to Jefferson.
So
Frank Peters.
I thought that they called a penalty on Roosevelt here, but they're kicking off. Did he point the wrong way? He pointed.
Must have, because it's a 15-yard assessment on the kickoff. You know, if you're the kicker, maybe you kick this on the ground and see if you recover it.
you can onside kick this all you want, because why not?
Why not?
The only way I'd see was sportsmanship and not wanting to run up the score too
Right.
much.
We're well past that.
Past that. 35-3, and I would get you he's not going to intentionally kick a touchback. And we have a flag right when the ball was kicked.
I'm thinking it looked to me like they were offside.
Okay. So that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, correct?
Yeah, that'll back out at 5. That looks to me like what's going to happen.
If I were Nathan here, I'd want to see if I can kick it through the uprights. It's got a good leg.
I've seen that happen.
Yep, and the 10-yard boost, I really bet you he could do it.
Offside Roosevelt.
So Roosevelt was offside.
So they're going to kick off now from the 50. He did try to shorten that kick up, so
it might actually be even easier if he's doing it from the 50 now.
Exactly.
Might be a blessing in disguise for the Rough Rider kicker, Owen Nathan. Take 2. Make sure everyone's on sides. And he just put a little too much juice on it because it goes into the end zone.
Now it'll come out to the 35.
Touchback.
You mean the 20?
Lincoln will take over 1st and 10.
The 20 or the 30? Yeah, no, I think they're just going to get a touchback, regular touchback area here. And they will give Lincoln the ball at the 20.
Right, okay.
Got some push-ups going on here. Cheerleader section. Keeping the crowd into it. A night where not a lot's gone right for them.
I watched that poor Duck mascot when they've scored 70, and he's going to do 70 push-ups.
81.
Right.
Well,
I ignore that game because they beat Portland State, my alma mater. We're not thinking of that game.
Man, I talk about some of those mismatches. I just can't watch them. 35-3. Eldridge with a completion out to, I think that's Errol Brotherton. Errol Brotherton, his first reception of the night.
21.
Gain of 5.
2nd down.
35-3, the Rough Riders lead the Cardinals. So Roosevelt, Dave, will improve to 4-0 PIL play, 5-1 overall. Came into this game ranked 11 in OSA's rankings. Could see themselves jump up to the top 10, especially because I do think a couple of top 10 teams did go down this week.
You know, for the Cardinals, they need to stay in the top 32. They dropped out to 34. See what this would do.
Eldridge rolls out. He's been doing that a lot tonight. This one is tipped and caught off of the tip.
That may go for a touchdown.
It will.
Is that
Barnett again?
That is Parker Barnett, isn't it?
It is. So that's his 2nd straight game with a very long touchdown reception.
You know how long that is, don't you?
Is that 80 yards?
That is 80 yards.
Even longer than either one he had against Franklin. And a little bit of luck was part of it. Every single big completion tonight for Lincoln has not been exactly how they drew it up. So Lance Rickard made a field goal earlier tonight. This is the first PAT he'll attempt. And it's good. So if you're Roosevelt, I mean, the defender, I thought he was maybe going to be able to pick that off, the DB. Just off his hands and right into the arms of Parker Barnett. So that's the first touchdown of the night for the Cardinals.
Eldridge to Barnett. Barnett had 2 big catches, or 2 big touchdowns last week. Point after touchdown by Ricker was good. I'm going to give you a stat that may startle you when you think about it. It's 35-10 now, and it just seems like it hasn't flowed well for the Cardinal. But Liam Eldridge has 212 yards passing.
You're kidding.
And there have been big hits, too. I'm looking here, 30, 35, 33, 19, 80.
Kazi back to receive.
That's unbelievable, based on how rough of a night it's been for Lincoln's offense.
Davies in the kick.
Finn Davies will kick. How many passing yards does Roosevelt have total, combining Woods and Riley?
Combining the two of them,
Yeah.
.202.
So Lincoln actually has more pass yards in this football game,
202
which is hard to believe.
to 212.
Of course, on the ground, it's definitely Roosevelt with the advantage. Finn Davies onside kicks this, and Lincoln has a shot. Garrett Schmokel recovers.
Onside recovered by Schmokel.
What a big recovery and a chance to get some more points. By the way, those 212 yards passing, those were on
Lincoln will
9
take over first and
completions.
10.
Sometimes I don't even see 212 yards off 15 completions.
Right.
So, a little bit of juice for Lincoln here late in this one. Now, as you were mentioning with the rankings, I can guarantee you, even though it's looking like they have a comfortable lead, Coach McCants does not want to give up any more points in this one.
Sometimes the other team gets all those penalties on sportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary roughness. If you're the home team, do your work, just play,
Exactly.
see what happens.
Don't make the same mistakes. Eldridge is under all sorts of pressure. It's got a man in his face. That's got to be a hold or a
That's got to be
PI.
pass interference.
and
No flag?
They're not going to call it.
Incomplete.
And everyone saw that. I'm surprised there's. That looked like a missed call.
Second down.
You and I are the farthest away from that play. The fans are closer, and they
Oh.
were all screaming. I thought it was pass interference.
Yeah,
too.
they were definitely a little vocal about that one. Everyone saw what we saw. Should have been a flag, but Roosevelt corner gets away with that. Liam Eldridge, probably with not a lot of time left on the play clock, getting back in there after getting the call from Coach Schnoffer.
We've talked about Embetogny all year. We need to start talking more about Parker Barnett.
Oh, goodness. What's that, 3 of 60-plus yards last 2 weeks? Second half of both games. And that might be intentional grounding. Was he out of the pocket?
He, I'm not sure. The ball didn't go back to the line of scrimmage.
No, so
We haven't seen a flag.
and there it is. That's
You
clear.
know, the referee talked to the back judge
Yeah.
and then threw it.
Oftentimes you see them converse a little bit
Yep.
before throwing that flag, and I think that's about as obvious as an intentional grounding as I have ever seen.
Intentional
There he
grounding.
goes. That's the signal for it. Intentional grounding. Loss of down.
So Lincoln was hoping for a
It is
penalty
spot
last
foul
play.
and
Instead,
loss of
it's going to be
down.
3rd and 25. And a lot of times for Eldridge, even though he does have 200-plus passing yards tonight,
212.
he's been under an awful lot of pressure. A lot of times he's dropped back.
He's 8 of 19 for 212 yards.
And probably, especially at this point in the game, thinking I don't want to take a big hit there, and he's right. So throw that one away, even though it is a 15-yard penalty in that instance. Eldridge steps up, fires over the middle, incomplete off the hands of A.J. Reverman.
You know, I really liked that time. There was a pocket, and Eldridge stepped up into the pocket and
I
let
like
that
it.
go
Yep.
of Reverman over the middle.
It looked, even though it wasn't a completion, it looked like a smoother play. And I think that's what Lincoln, we got to see more out of Lincoln. And it's 4th down and 25. Still 6 minutes to play in this football game. And if Lincoln doesn't get this, Roosevelt could actually benefit from not getting the onside kick because they could start at Lincoln's 29-yard line.
It's 4th down and 30.
How many times have we seen 4th and ridiculous tonight, Dave?
Well, we saw it once, and the Cardinal almost got it.
It's been crazy how many times I've seen 4th and more than 20, 3rd or 4th and more than 20. Eldridge rolls out to his right. There's a flag down in the vicinity of a hold. Eldridge keeps this one himself. And he almost got back to the original line of scrimmage, and
Eldridge with the keeper.
As he was getting to the outside to turn the corner to set up the pass, there was a hole. This is coming back and going to be even worse.
and I would think Roosevelt would probably accept this penalty because they want to keep the field position game on.
Right.
Unless they just really want to make sure they get the ball back.
The signal the referee is giving that's confused you tonight, he's giving this.
Yeah, exactly.
He's giving hold, not hitting his hands together
Yep.
like it looked.
Yeah, exactly.
Roosevelt will take over first and 10.
And so Roosevelt is going to decline the penalty. And, you know, I guess you don't want to take a big risk of Lincoln converting another third and forever. So McCants learned that.
Right, if they
Coach
decline the
McCants learned
penalty,
that.
they get the ball.
Coach McCants doesn't want to take that risk.
Okay. So instead, it'll be 1st and 10 for Roosevelt at the Lincoln 48.
So on that run, Eldridge got at least 15 yards.
Right, with no penalty, Eldridge actually got 23 yards.
So good run, nice run for him there. That's Lincoln's longest run of the night.
Double the longest run.
Double. So 5 minutes, 48 seconds left. Roosevelt going to give it to the up back. And he's got room.
Green with the carry.
Green. Coach McCants told us we might see him and Miles Green from the fullback spot. Gets a darn good carry.
And that is his first carry of the night.
First and 10.
$16 yards on the carry for Green.
First and 10, Roosevelt. From the Lincoln 31-yard line after the first down carry from Miles Green. And they run Green again. Doesn't have daylight
Green
this
with the
time.
carry.
Picks up 2 yards.
Kelsey with the tackle.
Five minutes left to play in this football game. Been all Roosevelt. Lincoln did score the last touchdown with an 80-yard strike to Parker Barnett off a tipped ball.
Green with the carry.
Another give to Green for nothing.
Well, Green had 16 yards on the first carry. Now he's got 18 on 3.
And it's going to bring up third down.
Third down.
Four minutes left to play. Third down. Met in the backfield, but didn't wrap up and bouncing off the tackle. The ball's now on the ground. Riley recovers.
And that's going to result in a 15-yard loss or a 10-yard loss.
So it will be.
Timeout, Lincoln.
It will be fourth down.
Lincoln takes a timeout.
Fourth down.
As Lincoln wants the ball back. Wants to force Roosevelt to punt it away to them.
4th and 9.
Garfinkel Orthodontics. Garfinkel Orthodontics celebrating 50 years of helping Portland smile. Dr. Judah, Lincoln High School alum from 1992, and the entire team at Garfinkel Orthodontics are proud to support Lincoln High School and excited to help your family smile. Complimentary consultations at garfinkelortho.com. So, fourth down and a long ways, and Nathan's out on to punt for the second time tonight. Barnett will receive this punt. Lincoln's had some rough punt snaps tonight. We'll see how they can give it for Nathan here. And not the prettiest. Nathan bobbles it. And again, still able to get the punt away. This is a good punt, too. Barnett catches it at the 10.
Is that the second punt of the night for Roosevelt?
That is, just their second of the night. That was a good one. And looks like Lincoln's still rolling with Liam Eldridge, I believe. Down 35-10 with 4 minutes left. And Eldridge does trot on out there. So Roosevelt up 25 here at Mike Walsh Field. About to go likely 4-0 and 4-0 in conference play. Eldridge looks to throw. Fires right side, almost intercepted.
Pass intended for Timothy, incomplete.
You know, he's thrown some dangerous passes tonight. Some of them have worked out. I'm surprised he hasn't thrown an interception tonight. That's the one thing Roosevelt hasn't really done well in defense, is pick the ball off.
Had a receiver open that time, just overthrew him, but did have the receiver open.
To take a quick, on the field, they're taking a quick break. So I can tell you about Premier Jets. Premier Jets specializes in worldwide service and has experience visiting nearly every part of the world. We provide fast worldwide transport service to 6 continents, including all Pacific Islands. Our services include an air ambulance, on-demand cargo, or charter flights. That's Premier Jets. I believe that was a timeout called by the Lincoln Cardinals. Looking ahead to next week, of course, another home game. All the remaining regular season's games are here at Mike Walsh Field. And Dave, Lincoln faces another good team in Ida B. Wells.
Let me look and see. I forgot who Wells was playing tonight. Oh, they were playing Jefferson. More than likely, they're going to be 4-0 also.
Yes, yes. Then, of course, Franklin Grant's the game I really want to get a score update on. Franklin at the Grant Generals tonight.
Second down.
3:48 left to play in the fourth quarter. Eldridge will try to pass again. Looking for Barnett off his hands, and he might have heard footsteps.
Pass intended for Barnett.
In the area was Osiah Banks for Roosevelt, ready to lay the lumber if Barnett had caught that football. .343 left to play in the game. Got to give good credit to Lincoln's student section, still out in full force towards the sideline.
Eldridge took a big hit.
As did the receiver, A.J. Reverman.
Wow.
And Lincoln is going to be faced with 4th and 10. Eldridge, good to see him. Still making his way over to the sideline. Appears to be okay.
It's wait a minute.
It's fourth down. The scoreboard is incorrect.
4th down. I haven't seen anybody a punting team go out there at all.
And Lincoln takes another timeout. Well, we knew coming into this game that Roosevelt, darn good football team, and they've delivered. Coach McCants, Coach Caruso, rest of their coaching staff has this Roosevelt Rough Rider team playing well. What impresses me most is they only have about 28 guys suited up tonight.
You know what the score is in the second half?
Is it 7-7?
It is 7-7.
So certainly a better second half for Lincoln. Does seem like Other than that one pass to Brotherton, though, Roosevelt's defense hasn't given an inch.
They're getting great pass rush on Eldridge.
Fantastic pass rush.
That's why it's so amazing that he's thrown for 212.
Eldridge, as you said, took a big hit on that last play. He might need an ice bath after this game. He's been chased all over this field. Gonna need to provide a good pass protection for him here on 4th down and 10. And he's under a ton of pressure again, and that's going to be an intentional grounding probably in the end zone.
I don't see a flag or anything.
And there it is.
5 down on
So
the
was he in the end zone is the question now.
If it's intentional grounding in the end zone, that's a safety.
And so if he...
I think that's what they're talking about. Where was he?
If you're Lincoln, what would you rather have? Take the safety or give Roosevelt the ball?
Ow. Here's the referee. Intentional grounding.
Second intentional grounding in the last 2 drives. And I said before the snap that Eldridge needed a good pass protection, and he didn't get it.
Not a safety. It's going to be spotted at the 1.
And Roosevelt will take over there.
Take over on the intentional grounding call.
Have you ever seen a team take over at the 1?
On downs?
On downs.
Well, maybe.
Maybe in some super desperation situations, but it doesn't happen often. Roosevelt all but gifted a touchdown here.
Still plenty of time, too. If they score, we'll go to, well, let's see. No, we won't go to a running clock.
Nope. Make it a 32-point game. So Roosevelt takes over on the 1-yard line. In the backfield is number 21, Caden Welch. Great opportunity for a second string back to find the end zone here. Riley hands off to the up back who scores. Too easy.
Bad snap, but got the handoff away and got a touchdown.
So Roosevelt has now put up 41 points on the road against Lincoln.
It was 41-10 to Roosevelt, pending the try.
And Owen Nathan another chance to show off his leg here.
That coming at 3:24.
So now, if this prior to the extra point, score in the second half is 13-7.
Guilty with the hold, Nathan for the try.
Bad snap and a blocked extra point.
41-10. 3:24 left to go here in the game.
You know, if you're Lincoln, even though they've passed for over 200 yards, which is hard for me to believe, it's just tough to take away a ton of positives offensively in particular because they've had pretty much no ground game tonight, and all the passes they've completed have not been the way they've drawn them up.
Well, Liam Eldridge has been running for his life tonight, and he's managed to get away passes that resulted in big games. Those weren't diagrammed passes.
No.
Those were, I'm under pressure, roll out, find somebody down the field, throw them the ball.
There's only so many times that's going to bail you out. Not nearly enough tonight as they trail 41-10.
Keep in mind that although the Cardinal will go to 2-4 overall, they'll still be 2-2 in the PIL.
Nathan indicates Todd and Barnett back to receive.
With 3 games left.
Of course, Cleveland, their most winnable game remaining on the schedule. Wells and Grant, both certainly formidable.
Well, remember, Wells hasn't played Roosevelt either yet. That ought to be a great game.
Oh, absolutely. They haven't played Grant either, have they? Grant hasn't played Roosevelt yet.
No.
Barnett taking this one himself. Pardon me, Togney taking this one on the return.
Togney out to the 45-yard line.
First out by Nathan.
The matchups we're waiting to see. Wells, Roosevelt, Grant, and Roosevelt as well. Certainly some good matchups remaining in the PIL. Oh, Franklin and Wells could be a fantastic matchup as well.
Remember, Cleveland and McDaniel were playing tonight. They were both 0-3 in the conference.
Someone's going to get in the win column in the PIL. Cleveland, 2 wins outside of the PIL. McDaniel, a win outside of the PIL as well.
Right.
They beat South Salem 20-0. 20-2, pardon me. Quick hitter.
Covered his pass caught by Barnett.
Parker Barnett again. You know, it's weird to see him catching a pass that he doesn't end up in the end zone.
By Jackson and Darfler.
Sometimes Barnett.
Well, let me say this. That's over 100 yards receiving for Barnett. Of course, 80 of it on one play.
On 2 plays. On what is it? 3? How many receptions does Parker have tonight? Probably at least 3.
3.
Okay. So
3 for 103 yards.
And 80 on 1 play. Liam Eldridge to throw again. Under pressure again, and Eldridge tries to throw across his body. Incomplete.
Oh my goodness.
Coming back to the ball that time was Earl Brotherton. Couldn't haul it in.
Thought he was going to catch that, but just couldn't get to the ball. Again, Eldridge running for his life back there.
He's shown his athleticism. He's going to have dreams tonight where he's running away from something. I'm surprised we haven't seen more Garrett Schmokel receptions after that one big one in the first quarter.
Well, at the beginning of the season, Coach Snuff told me to watch him, and he's had sometimes when he's looked really good.
Gotta say they might want to hope to target him more, and it's 3rd and 7 for Lincoln. Schmokel is motioned out to the right side. Looks like Lincoln's a little confused in their formation here. Eldridge rolls out and fires to the sideline, incomplete. They did go to Schmokel that time.
Schmokel's a big target.
He is. Easily 6'2", 6'3". And it's 4th down and 7 for the Cardinals. Roosevelt with a 41-10 lead. They've already iced the game away. We'll take over on downs here if Lincoln can't convert.
I want to thank everybody for staying with us in a long game tonight.
Shout out to the Lincoln student section. .217 left to play in the game. Eldridge has much more time than he usually has tonight, but he throws incomplete over the middle.
He was looking for Schmokel, who was about 30 yards downfield.
And so Roosevelt takes over on downs with a 2nd straight drive, this time not at the 1-yard line.
I expect to see them keep it on the ground and just run the rest of the timeout.
Lincoln, not sure it would matter anyways, but I think Lincoln's out of timeouts. They could have 1 left. They've used at least 2. The 48-yard line of Lincoln, Roosevelt takes over, and as you mentioned, they're just going to have to run the football. So Riley takes another snap under center.
21 with the carry.
And off to 21,
Welch. Down on the play. Curtis with the stop.
No gain. Is there a flag over there?
I thought I heard PA say flag on the play, but I can't tell.
Well,
It does look like there's a flag down. 48-yard line. Holding on Roosevelt.
Holding Roosevelt.
Backs him up to 1st and 20.
First down.
Handoff right side.
Number 21 with the carry.
And nowhere to go for Welch. He's met by a lot of red
Cummings
jerseys.
with the tackle.
Loss of a yard on the carry. So Lincoln in a bit of a they got a little bit of searching to do for their identity, I'd say, after this game where they couldn't run the ball well. And Roosevelt really, ever since the field goal from Lincoln in the first quarter, has been able to really just impose what they've wanted to do. Second and 21, a minute left in the game. Should have 2 snaps remaining.
Number 21 with the carry.
There's Welch again. Roosevelt on the sideline got a flag.
You know, they were jumping up and down celebrating. I'm not sure what that call is going to be, but I saw the flag go up. He picked up 6. He must be a team favorite because they were all cheering. Here's the call.
And so it's going to be sportsmanlike, I believe.
Second sideline warning.
Oh no, it's a sideline warning
15-yard penalty for
on
unsportsmanlike
Roosevelt.
conduct.
So
remember, the first was a warning. That's a the players were jumping up and down. And obviously, some of them jumped out onto the field.
And obviously not a penalty Roosevelt's going to care an awful lot about at this point of the game.
They just need to snap the ball and kneel down now, and this is over.
One last play. It's going to be, unless something crazy happens in the last play, final score, Roosevelt 41, Lincoln 10. Roosevelt picking up
That'll take us
a commanding road
game.
victory.
Final will be Roosevelt 41,
Riley takes a
Lincoln
knee.
10. A reminder to fans and families, please remain off the field after the game until the visitors
So
have
we've
cleared
seen
the field
Emmett
and the
have big
coaches are
games the
done
last
talking
couple
to
of
the
weeks.
players.
Wasn't like that tonight with Roosevelt's defense really
We've
shutting
got a
down
short
Lincoln.
week this week. We'll
Right,
be
it was
back on
20.
Thursday night at
Let's see, it
7
was
p.m. with our
28-3
game
at
here
halftime. In the third
versus
quarter,
Wells.
neither team scored. Fourth quarter scoring at the 7:30 mark. Betts with a 1-yard run, the point after touchdown by Nathan, made it 35-3. Then at the 6:24 mark, an 80-yard touchdown pass from Eldridge to Parker Barnett, the point after touchdown by Lance Ricker, and it was 35-10. The last score of the game came at the 3:24 mark, a 1-yard run there, and the point after touchdown was blocked to make our final score 41-10. Lincoln now 2-3 on the season. 2-2. I'm sorry, is that right? 2-3.
So Lincoln will drop to 2-2 PIL.
2-4 on the season.
2-4 on the season.
2-2. I'm sorry, I got it confused there for a second. The Roosevelt is 5-1 on the season, 4-0 in the PIL.
And certainly Roosevelt, a lot to be happy about after this one. As you said, they remain undefeated in PIL play. Lincoln will face another tough test with Wells next Friday night. I'm curious to see how the Franklin Grant game went.
Not next Friday night, next Thursday.
Oh, I did not know that. Thank you.
Okay, it is the Wells game will be on Thursday night next week, so you can catch us at 7 o'clock start time for that game. Must be a teacher service day on Friday or whatever, but it is a Thursday night game.
So Lincoln will take on Wells on Thursday night. Final score, Roosevelt 41, Lincoln 10.
All right, we ready to wrap it up?
We are.
All right, got people want to thank Lincoln High School for their hospitality and the great facilities. Want to thank the athletic department here at Lincoln. Both head coaches tonight, Ryan McCants for Roosevelt, Corey Snoffer for Lincoln for their help. Also want to thank the assistant coaches for both teams who gave us lots of information. We were able to be down on the field and share a lot of different thoughts and information about the players for both of the teams. I want to thank our crew tonight. Alva, our engineer, Ryan, our producer, director, also up on the roof with the camera tonight. My broadcast partner, Ben Paul. Ben, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Excited for, first of all, glad you told me it was Thursday night. Excited for Thursday night against Wells.
All right, that's it. I'm Dave Hall. Our final score tonight from Lincoln High School in PIL action. It is Roosevelt 41, Lincoln 10. Good night, everybody.